Well, this might be the dumbest thing we've ever done.
It could be.
I've done a lot of really dumb stuff, though, so probably not. Well, hello, everybody. This is Dave and Keegan from the Schmidt Music Saxophone Shop. And today we're going to talk about ligatures. Ignore what's going on over here for a moment. We'll get to that in a second. But we are going to talk about ligatures. So for you that don't know what a ligature is, that is the thing that goes on your mouthpiece and holds your reed to the mouthpiece. Now, why would we have a bunch of them here, and why would we be having a big talk about ligatures? Well, the truth is there's a lot of debate. This is kind of a controversial subject, which kind of leans into why Keegan over here is wearing a blindfold. But we're going to talk about whether a ligature makes a difference in the sound, in the feel of the response of the horn. If you look on certain internet forums, it is very hotly debated. Some people will say, this is just a hunker thing that keeps your reed on. It makes absolutely no difference. You could put anything on there as long as it holds it tightly. And there, I think there's some truth to that. But then you have people on the other side of the spectrum who are going to say, it completely changed my sound. Wow. In my opinion, the answer is somewhere in the middle between those two things, and everybody has a little different opinion on it, but I think it matters some. As someone who works in a saxophone shop and has tried a lot of ligatures, I do have my favorites. Keegan, what do you think? I'll put my hand in front of his face, make sure this is really a good blindfold.
Yeah.
Keegan, awkwardly with a blindfold on, what are your thoughts on ligatures?
Yeah, I personally, I'm kind of in the same boat as you, Dave. I've tried a lot of different ligatures as a customer of the shop, and since I've started managing the shop now, and I definitely have my favorites. We won't go into our entire ligature journey, but I thought Rovner was like it, for ligatures, and then I tried Francois Louis, and that was kind of it for me. I thought it made a huge difference, but we'll let you all decide here watching. But.
Yeah. My thought is, it's got to do something where the ligature is touching the mouthpiece, how much it's touching the mouthpiece, and what material it's made out of. I think those are the biggest things, personally. We're going to put a big disclaimer when we edit this video. We are not scientists.
No.
There's a lot of physics involved, and physics of musical sound, and vibrating air columns and reeds and all that. We're not going to pretend to exactly know how all that works. We're going to do our best, and here's the blindfold part, we're going to do our best at a double-blind test. And from what I understand, that means you as the viewer will not know which ligature I'm putting on there. Each time we'll blank that out, and if you can put in the comments what you think the order is, and if you guess it right, we'll be interested to see if anybody can guess out of these 6 ligatures which is which. But the other half of the double blind, as far as I understand it, again, I'm not a scientist, is the player shouldn't know either. And that is a big part of it because the player, a saxophone is such a flexible instrument that when I'm playing, I can flex things to brighter or darker or more responsive. And there's a lot of psychological, if I see this cool space-looking ligature on my horn, maybe part of my brain makes me play a little different because, there's some psychology to there. So we're going to try to rule that out and have Keegan blindfolded here. He doesn't know what he plays. You don't know what he plays. And we're going to go through 6 ligatures. I will quickly talk through them. We're not going to talk a lot about what they are other than just the names of them. But we've got Rovner. We have one of the Silverstein, these cool ligatures here. We have a BG France with a metal plate on the bottom. We have the Francois Louis Ultimate Ligature. We have this is a BG metal ligature. And this is the cheapy 2-screw ligature that would go in any case. So I'm going to pull these aside, I'm going to mix them up, put them on Keegan's instrument, and he's going to play basically the same scale, full range on the horn on each one of these. We're going to have in the description of the video, we'll have these so you don't have to remember them. They'll be down in the description. And we'd love it if in the comments, you try to guess which is which, and then probably within a week or so, we will unveil if anybody got them all right. I will be incredibly impressed if you do. My thought, again, ligature is a subtle difference, but it is a difference, and I think we'll be able to hear some differences in it. But, it doesn't matter what I think. Let's give it a try. Let's have Keegan play these. We'll be back in a moment. We'll see what happens. we are back. Keegan has played through all 6 of them. He didn't know which ones they are. You know, he may have some ideas based on how they play or how they felt. But let's ask the man. What did you think? First of all, did you notice a difference between the 6 ligatures?
I noticed a huge difference, at least between like 4 of them.
Okay.
A couple of them seemed like they were maybe the same. It's kind of hard to tell, obviously, because I couldn't see which ones were which.
Now, when you say you noticed a difference, what did you notice? Like,
so
was
the
it
biggest
sound,
thing,
feel, both?
Yeah, a little bit of both. I think that the biggest things as far as sound was brightness or darkness of my sound. Depending on the ligature, I was either brighter or darker. And then the other thing that changed was resonance. I could feel just in my embouchure and with putting air through the mouthpiece what the resonance felt like. Some of them it felt like the reed vibrated way more easily, and others it felt like it was more restricted and it was harder to get a response out.
Sure, yeah. And one of the things I notice a lot when I switch ligatures is a little different resistance too. It can make it feel, and that kind of goes along with your resonance thing. But anyway, we would love to hear from you what you think. Can you hear a difference? And feel free to be like, they all sound exactly the same. You two are crazy. Stop doing this. Hey, I'd be happy to get that feedback. Again, we are not scientists. We are doing our best to see if these make a difference. What I would say, though, for young players out there, don't buy 6 ligatures. Don't go crazy with it. Get a good mouthpiece. Get a good ligature. Make sure you have a horn that plays. Stick with it for a while. This is something, it's nice to know and it's nice to have fun with, but it shouldn't be. It's the little bit of icing on the cake. It's not the cake. But it is fun to play with them as well. So anyway, we'd love to hear what you think about this down in the comments section. And if you have any questions or if you have any, again, ideas for future videos, we would love to hear that. We'd like to do what you want to hear. And we'd be happy to, we're going to keep a running list of ideas, and that's what we'll make in future videos. But otherwise, thanks again for joining us. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks to Keegan for wearing a blindfold for a long time. You're braver than me. So we'll see you next time. Thanks.